What happens when a political party, riding high on electoral success, suddenly finds itself in the middle of a catastrophic crisis? Today, we're diving deep into the chaos engulfing Keir Starmer and the Labour Party. Once hailed as the leader poised to rebuild Britain, Starmer is now facing a full-blown disaster that threatens to tear Labour apart. How did things spiral so fast? And what does this mean for the future of the party? Stay with us as we uncover the hidden details, the ones Starmer would rather keep secret, and explore how Labour's handling of key issues, from the economy to immigration, has triggered a meltdown within its own ranks. But before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button to stay updated on all the shocking political dramas unfolding in real time. When Labour took office, they promised change, a new direction for Britain. But what has followed looks more like a downward spiral. The economy is on life support, prisons are falling apart, and the NHS is on the brink of collapse. Chancellor Rachel Reeves claims Labour inherited the worst economic mess since World War II, and it has become their go-to excuse for everything that's gone wrong. But how long can they keep pointing fingers before people start demanding results? One of Labour's first major moves was to promise a whopping £9 billion pay rise for public sector workers. Sounds great, right? After all, teachers, doctors, and emergency workers deserve it. But here's the kicker. With public finances already in crisis, where exactly is the money coming from? Critics say this generous wage hike is like throwing gasoline on a financial fire. Helpful in the short term, but dangerous in the long run. Voters are growing more skeptical, especially since the government has offered little in the way of a plan to pay for it. And then came the bombshell. The government cut winter fuel payments for pensioners. This decision, framed as a necessary move to balance the budget, has caused outrage across the country. For many elderly people, this support was a lifeline, especially with the cost of living soaring. Cutting it off just as winter looms feels like a betrayal. Even within Labour, MPs are furious, accusing the leadership of turning its back on the most vulnerable. The question is, will pensioners blame the Conservatives for the tough financial inheritance, or will they hold Labour accountable for the cruel cuts? As the controversy intensifies, so does the public's dissatisfaction with Keir Starmer. His approval ratings have nosedived. Despite Labour's comfortable majority in Parliament, Starmer is struggling to maintain public confidence. His strategy has been clear. Keep reminding the public of the mess left behind by the Tories and promise that better days are ahead, just not yet. But that narrative is beginning to wear thin. People are tired of waiting for change. And with every new hardship, Labour's early missteps look more like failures than growing pains. Internationally, the pressure is mounting. Starmer's leadership has not only come under fire at home, but it's also raised eyebrows abroad. Figures like Germany's Christine Anderson have openly criticized him, calling his governance a threat to democracy. Italy's Matteo Salvini and Argentina's Javier Milei have likewise taken aim at Starmer, accusing him of damaging Britain's reputation. As foreign leaders publicly question his ability to lead, Starmer is scrambling to hold it all together. Meanwhile, Labour's immigration policies have also come under scrutiny. Despite the government's tough rhetoric on cracking down on illegal migration, the reality on the ground tells a different story. People like Hassan, an asylum seeker from Kurdistan, know this all too well. After paying smugglers thousands of pounds to reach the UK, Hassan is living proof that the system is still deeply flawed. He describes the smuggling networks as deeply entrenched and nearly impossible to dismantle. His story is echoed by others like Mohammed, who arrived by boat last year. They argue that while the government may crack down on one smuggler, another will rise in their place. More than 20,000 people have made the dangerous journey to Britain this year alone, an increase from last year, and Labour's handling of the issue has been nothing short of chaotic. Even with promises to get tough, the problem persists, and voters are left wondering whether Labour really has a grip on the situation. As if these domestic crises weren't enough, Starmer's recent trip to Ireland, framed as a diplomatic reset, has been met with skepticism. The media focused on the optics, Starmer swapping football shirts with Irish Taoiseach Simon Harris, enjoying a round of tea, and taking in a Nations League football match. But behind the scenes, people are asking, is this visit about actual diplomacy or just a PR stunt? Starmer's goal was to lay the groundwork for a new trade summit with Ireland. But with Brexit tensions still simmering and the UK's place in Europe looking unstable, it's hard to say how much will really change. Labour's early stumbles have turned into full-blown crises, and time is running out for Starmer to steady the ship. The economy is floundering, public services are struggling, and his leadership is being questioned from all sides. Can Keir Starmer pull Labour back from the brink? Or will his government become just another cautionary tale of political failure? Only time will tell. One thing's for sure, the stakes couldn't be higher, and the public's patience is running out. What do you think? Is Labour headed for a catastrophic downfall? Or can Starmer turn things around before it's too late? If you enjoyed this deep dive into Labour's ongoing crisis, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing videos. We've got plenty more political shockers coming your way, so stay tuned.